In the early 1990s, the concept of a concert of powers gained prominence as a strategy for regulating relations among great powers and offering an illusion of global control in a world lacking institutional authority. The most prominent example of such a concert originated in the early 19th century, and proponents of a comparable event post-Cold War have utilized this as a foundation for their assertions. In 1815, the Concert of Europe was established as a means to implement the resolutions of the Congress of Vienna. It consisted of the Quadruple Alliance that had vanquished Napoleon and concluded his imperial pursuits in Europe. The coalition comprised four principal great powers: Russia, Prussia, Austria, and Britain. France was officially admitted to the organization in 1818, although it had previously significantly contributed to the settlements of 1815. The primary objectives of the great powers during this period were to create a stable balance of power in Europe, to maintain the territorial status quo, and to uphold legitimate conservative regimes within the core of the continent. For the subsequent 30 to 40 years, the members of the concert convened periodically to deliberate and negotiate resolutions to their conflicts and to address overarching dangers to the concert as a collective entity. The concert was notably effective in achieving its objectives as an exercise in prolonged great power collaboration, at least until the mid-19th century. It successfully quelled revolutionary insurrections in Spain and Italy in 1820 and 1822, and curtailed France's pursuit of dominance in Europe. The disparities among the great powers of the period, coupled with their collective inability to quell revolutionary movements within their territories, led to the dissolution of the concert. There are differing opinions regarding the exact moment the concert ceased to operate. Certain experts contend that the commencement of the Crimean War in 1853 marked its decline. This was the inaugural significant military confrontation in Europe following the Vienna Treaty. Furthermore, it signified an expansionist initiative by Russia against the frail Ottoman Empire, which contradicted the fundamental objective of the concert. Some contend that, notwithstanding intermittent crises, the concert endured in various manifestations until the onset of the First World War in 1914, after which the concert's participants evolved into adversaries within two opposed coalitions. Following the conclusion of the Cold War, particularly in the years subsequent to the Gulf War in 1991, several analysts proposed the potential establishment of a new concert among the contemporary great powers: the United States, Russia, China, Japan, and the prominent nations of the European Union. The capacity of these powers to collaborate in compelling Iraq to retract its annexation of Kuwait instilled optimism that they might persist in their cooperation to uphold international order. Nonetheless, several distinctions exist between the great powers of the early 19th century and those of the present day. The Concert of Europe consisted of 5 approximately equal great powers. Currently, assessing the allocation of power in international relations is significantly more challenging. The connection between military force and political influence has diminished, making it challenging to establish suitable conditions for membership in a modern concert. The Concert of Europe was created partly to address a military and political threat in Central Europe. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, it is challenging to pinpoint any state that poses a significant danger to the great powers, hence diminishing the incentive for them to establish a new concert of powers. Third, all members of the Concert of Europe espoused specific conservative principles. Notwithstanding their growing differences over the years, they embraced the balance of power as the shared foundation for their efforts. Currently, the balance of power is global rather than solely regional, and significant distinctions may be discerned among the governments frequently regarded as prospective members of a modern symphony. Although they possess certain shared interests, it is uncertain if a normative consensus regarding a valid international order exists among them. Given the predominant strength of the United States today, it seems improbable that other major nations, especially China, would desire to participate in a symphony likely to be dominated by a single state.